I'm Rick Boschulte. I live in Eureka, Illinois. I attended Illinois State from 1985 through 1989 and studied just about everything with Harold. Most notably would have been color theory that impacted me and laid a basis for the work I've been doing ever since. I always found him accessible. People like that are intimidating if you're not genuine with them. So if you're there to learn, Harold was there to teach. I never encountered that. I saw some people have awkward moments with Harold. A class would be full of students and a few fans. The fans were a little bit problematic at times.
So what was your favorite class with him?
Oh, I really, again, color theory just opened up and seemed to articulate so many things that I'd been interested over the years, and even other artists that I was drawn to, as you are in academia. But I really probably most enjoyed just the one-on-ones in the studio when he would come up, whatever it was, once every other week or once a week.
Now, as a landscape painter, you probably met with a different set of appraisals than other people because you're playing in his sandbox.
Yeah.
I did, the whole time I studied with him, I did 2 landscape paintings. The first one, it was small, it was a study, he really liked it. And the bigger one, he said, oh, that's pretty stiff. And of course, he was right, it was. Yeah. But how did he respond to your landscape painting?
Well, I went through the first phase of my graduate program as an abstract painter. So my first Master of Science show was large-scale color field type abstractions. And what I found in Harold was permission. That here, this person of station had discovered something about my neighborhood that was special. And I've been going to the academy and been told that that wasn't good enough, that you couldn't do that in today's art world. And so I learned from Harold that I could. Now, we had to address that right away, because the first time I did a realistic landscape painting, I knew that was, and Harold in his way, whoa, get a little pang every time somebody decides they want to be a landscape painter. But I felt like I had beaten around the bush and talked my way all around it, trying to convince people that indeed these abstractions were derived from the landscape. And Harold himself even one time said, well, it might be what you see, but other people are not seeing that. So it became an honesty thing, and finally it was appropriate, and I took kind of the romantic path. Harold was far more analytical and intellectual about the landscape, and so the romantic path was a way to sort of get around Picasso, if you want to put it that way. But no, that was something that had to be addressed early. Upon that change was why I was doing that. A lot of people, Harold had tremendous success in the marketplace, and so did several of his, or many of his students. So there were a few that probably were tempted by that, but for me it was about, boy, here's the most honest expression I've ever done in my life. And with the first little bitty realistic landscape I did, it was on foam core with little balsa wood edges in a box frame, and it was just liberating. It was absolutely liberating. So I did not look back, and I did not apologize for it. My little art mafia. It was Michael Dabina and James Hale at first were the ones I was closest to. Dan Addington. We showed together at Up Front Gallery way back. What was that? 1988, I think. So once you got out of the graduate house, and they always encourage you, get a real studio, get out of these graduate houses. Then it was just those folks in that studio building, so you became a little bit more sequestered, I guess. But Sheila Asbell comes to mind as somebody that I was very close with. In the graduate house, most of those were older students, so I didn't get to know them very well before they rolled out. So, but that was my core. Yeah. Oh, I did a lot of it. When all of your mentors, all of your professors, all of those people that were close to you, are represented in your memory as just little sound bites here and there, little voices. And his voice is one of the most prominent. It's not the only one, but you know, you still get those. You'll be painting, and all of a sudden you'll just hear him say, "Oh," you know. You know, it's just the way. It seemed like our studios were always up on an upper floor somewhere, so Harold would have to climb those steps, and as he came in, you know, he'd do that funny little stomp, and then he'd kind of tug it. Call him that done? And so that was, you know, he'd put you at ease right away. So I'm pressed to try to recall a quote right now, that, but there's hundreds of them.